We found a 7-year-old girl who died while crossing the southern border, and she was actually an Indian girl who had been brought across by human smugglers or traffickers for for sex purposes, and they just abandoned her little body out there, and because she had died. And then they've got 5,200 migrants that they have quarantined because of they've been exposed to chickenpox, mumps, measles, other diseases, and of course then we have the lovely group of Africans who have come in, like 500 500 aliens that have come in from the Congo and such, and reports of Ebola, maybe up as far as Dallas, perhaps, as we heard. We don't not sure about that yet. We're still trying
Well,
to confirm it.
I did hear that a church in Dallas had brought 600 migrants from the Congo and put them in Dallas. Now, I know that some Christian churches think that's a good Christian thing to do. My question is, why do you think it's the Christian thing to do all you can to destroy the Judeo Christian society called the Republic of the United States of America? Why is that the Christian thing to do? I tell you what, these folks, they may mean well, and that sounds like love, peace, harmony, and all that kind of stuff. But the result of their love is the destruction of this country and the society that we have here. I don't
And the
understand that,
system,
and
the
I sure don't
financial
agree with it.
system. I mean, we can't support these people. We don't have a way to take care of them.
Well,
And then they've got they've got hundreds and hundreds of aliens from the Congo that have arrived in San Antonio, and so they're putting out ads in the newspaper looking for French speaking volunteers to go down and talk to them because it's overburdened all these people that are trying to care for these people from South Africa and the Congo and what have you, because they don't speak English, they don't speak any type of Spanish, they don't speak any kind of Indian.
my question is, what is their purpose? What is their goal for trying to bring all these people here from the Congo or from Ethiopia or wherever or Syria? You know, Barack Obama said he wanted to bring 110,000 here from Syria, and Hillary said, "Oh no, I want to increase that 550%." Okay, what is their goal? What do they want to do? What do they want to accomplish? Destroy America? Is that their goal? Uh,
Maybe Doug can tell you.
yeah, Doug is on the line here. Doug, about you forgot you was out there. So, what you got to loud this evening?
Well, this must be totally ESP because this is the very subject I wanted to talk about. I'm driving down the road this morning and I'm listening
Hey,
about the St.
Doug.
Louis Blues.
Doug, are you talking directly into your phone?
I am.
Okay, well, I don't know why we're having a really hard time hearing you.
All right. Can you hear me now?
It's a little better. Go ahead and try.
Is that better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that got better.
I'm very sorry. So it must be totally ESP, but I'm driving down the road this morning and I'm listening to the radio talking about the St. Louis Blues. They've won their first hockey championship, and all these people coming to the parade have to go through a screening line, metal detectors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We go to sporting events, we have to be screened. We got to take our hats off. We got to go through metal detectors, the whole bit. We don't do any of this at the border. I don't believe these people. What are we? This is just insanity.
Well,
And I'm just wondering when the American people, conservative folks, are going to wake up and start rallying and protesting in different capitals where they're dumping all these folks. And I'm just getting really tired of it. I'm very frustrated by this.
Why are the people of the United States punished?
Why are we allowing it?
well, I asked a question not
Why
long
are the
ago,
Dems
Doug.
being challenged on
is-
this? You know, I mean,
is-
they throw them all these softball questions. They don't ever ask them any hard, direct questions.
Well, I asked the question,
Kind of.
Doug, the other day: is insanity contagious? Because it seems to be spreading in this country.
Well,
I keep asking the question: why would any good American, freedom-loving Christian promote this kind of stuff or agree with it, unless they're just totally insane? Is mental problems increasing and spreading? I don't
well,
understand this, Doug.
that's my other issue too. I think this mental insanity has spread to the Republicans in the Congress and in our elected House of Representatives, and even here in our own state in Texas. Because I don't see them doing anything to stand up and combat this or talk against it or vote against it. They don't support Trump. And yet all the time I keep getting in the mail all these flyers about contribute to the NRC, the RNC, the BBC, whatever. They all want money, and I write them all back and say, you're not getting a dime from me until you get some backbone, you bunch of spineless jellyfish, and start defending the country and the borders.
That's funny, because that's exactly what I tell them, too. I mean, I only send money to the candidates I'm going to support, and I send it to them directly. I don't send anything to the Republican Party anymore.
Well,
so,
Doug.
Anyhow, that's my 2 cents, and I'll hang up and let y'all just.
Thanks for your call, Doug.
Well, that was a good 2 cents worth, Doug, because you're singing my song, doggone. And I asked the question, all of you Texas people, how many of you voted for Beto O'Rourke when he was campaigning on tearing down the wall, banning guns, and open borders? And you voted for that moron? What were you thinking about when you did that?
What was it?
I question anybody's mental ability that voted for Beto O'Rourke. Do they not understand what he was wanting to do? When you open the borders with Mexico, you're going to flood this country with people from Honduras, Guatemala, wherever, and you most assuredly will destroy this country. So when you vote for Beto O'Rourke, you're voting to destroy the country you live in. Don't you understand that? Don't you understand that when you tear down the walls, when you ban guns and tear down the walls, you're going to destroy this country? Because you're not going to just have people from Honduras flood this country. You're going to have people from Syria, Afghanistan, all around the world flooding into this country, and there will be no more America. Is that what you want? Give me a break. Anyway, here's Lyle on the phone, going to tell us all about it. Lyle, go ahead on.
Tell you what, you made the Nielsen rating report.
We did, huh?
Yep. I took the survey a while back, and I put you guys down.
Awesome. Thanks.
Okay. I tried calling Senator Corcoran. I could never get a hold of his office on his answering machine. I'd always get a busy signal or just ring a couple times and drop off. Ted Cruz, I called him, and after a couple of tries, I did get a live people, someone to talk to.
Every time I call up there, the voicemail's full, and nobody ever picks up.
Yep.
On both his phones.
Okay, but I did get through Cruz.
Good for you.
And Carter, I tell you what, that's almost a lost cause.
Worthless.
And but it took me about 3 times, and I did get a hold of our governor. And I told him, the representative, the guy that answered the phone, I told him flat out, I support the wall. I support the tariff on Mexico. I support the tariff on China. And I also told them, right, and when the GOP came for money, I said, I give to the individual candidate. I will not give to the GOP because I'm not going to support a John McCain or a Nick Romney or a Murkowski or Collins. And they weren't very happy with me.
Well, what bothers me about John Cornyn is every time you see Mitch McConnell, John Cornyn is standing right beside him. And I guess he's second in command. Maybe that's why he's there. But does he support everything Mitch McConnell does? Because Mitch McConnell is, in my opinion, he's an enemy to America.
Well, but I'll tell you what, I got in the debate with the liberals, and I told them, don't get mad. But I said, you start following some of the money, because a lot of these people are dead broke when they go up there, and they're millionaires now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why I said a while ago, why don't we audit some of these people and see where the money came from?
But,
give me, Bill Clinton got $500,000 for a 20-minute speech in Moscow. Give me a break. Do you think his 20-minute speech was worth that? Or do you think they were buying favors from his Secretary of State wife named Hillary Clinton? they bought something for that $500,000.
It's
and
called
and it was not a speech.
it's called the Lincoln's bedroom.
Yeah.
But I'm like you. I can't beg for money for running for office. But I tell you what, I've been talking to a lot of people, and I've been encourage them to run for city council and run for mayor, because I said I would support them. They told me to run, and I said I'm not a beggar. I can do a lot of things, but I don't want nothing to do with money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And even in the church committees and stuff, right? You know, I'll do everything, but I would not serve on the finance committees. But you know, until the American people shut off the television set and get out their blessed reassurance and do something and wake up, we're going to send the same idiots back to Congress.
Well, and they're not going to turn the TV off, Lyle, because that's what's got the football game on it, or the basketball game, or whatever. See, wait, let me give you an example. Go to a Tea Party meeting in Belton or Temple or wherever, and you'll see 50 people there, at the most 50 people. Go to the football game at the high school, and you'll see tens of thousands of people there. Okay, where is their priority? Their priority is dadgum sure not on keeping America great. It's on sports and entertainment. We are so engrossed in entertainment, we don't care what happens to the country.
Well, but that's not all of it. I think part of it is also that some people feel like, we were talking about at breakfast, is that, their vote doesn't count, and as much as I don't agree with that, I hear what they're saying. They're so disenchanted with the government, and that everybody's crooked per se, and that there's all these backdoor dealings and so much money and so much corruption that no matter what they do, they're not going to have any effect on it.
Well, let me explain those people who say their vote don't count. Is that a reason to not vote, or is that an excuse to not vote? There's a difference between a reason and an excuse. I can name you one that I know of for sure. In Thompson Falls, Montana, a state representative lost the race in Thompson Falls, Montana by 1 vote. A city councilman lost his race in Kalispell, Montana by 6 votes. And there was 6 people in my family that voted against him. So if you think your vote don't count, wake up.
Well, I'll tell you what, I tell people their vote don't count. Look at the president, and look at the vice president.
Yeah.
And look at our Supreme Court.
Well, and if you want an excuse to not vote, then believe that. But anyway, Keith, Lyle, I appreciate your call. You be careful out there and call again sometime.
I'll tell you what, one other thing, see if the rest of your audience has a hard time getting through our congressmen and representatives.
Well, I can just tell you from personal experience from me that I've tried calling quite a bit, and I usually get full mailboxes or no return calls and no return emails.
But you got to keep trying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I try.
Yeah, don't quit. Just keep trying. Okay, we're going to break, folks,
right,
and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Y'all hang. Right now, we got Mark holding. Mark, are you there?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Conn?
Well, I'm just doing tolerable well. Good to hear from you.
Yes, sir. Let me make a couple of comments here. One on the apathy of American people, and then the other one on the agenda behind why they get elected and go a different direction. My personal belief, and I've been talking about this publicly since 1988, is once Kennedy died the way he died, that an inner government has had control of our government, in my opinion, ever since. And I think these guys get up there and they're shown, you play the game the way the game's played and we'll make you a millionaire. If you don't, we're going to run you out of town. And most everybody capitulates.
Let me say real quick, and then I need to change the subject, but anybody that believes Lee Harvey Oswald killed John Kennedy with a 6.5 Italian Carcano rifle that he shot twice in 3/4 of a second, you have got to be an absolute moron.
Oh, there's absolutely no way, and there's been massive amounts of proof, released documents, everything else that prove that he may have been involved in the plot of the conspiracy or whatever you want to call it, but there's no way that gentleman or that person pulled the trigger on anything that day in Dealey Plaza.
No,
but that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, and
I firmly believe. Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't want to get off on another subject there, but I'm just wanting to point that out because people still believe Oswald did that. There ain't no living damn way that Oswald did that with that gun. But anyway,
no.
Excuse me for interrupting there, Mark.
That's fine. But the thing is, there are very few people, with the exception of maybe, and right now, recent memory, I think, honestly, that Ted Cruz is the only, and I didn't vote for him when he was here for other reasons we won't get into, but once he got to Washington, he's the only person I know that stuck to the platform from Texas, from his agenda running for his office, that got there, and look what's been done to him ever since. They even made fun of him for reading the child, the bedtime stories to his children during that filibuster. I mean, our side made more fun of him than the liberal Democrats did. So, we eat our own.
I'm not sure whose side Republicans are on, Mark.
Well, they're only on their side. They're on their side for the money and the prestige and the power. It boils down to two things:
whatever happened
greed
to the American
and power.
Side. Whatever happened to the American side, the side for America and for our future generations. I
think it died with the World War II generation myself, because those folks came back from the war not wanting to see their kids and grandkids go through what they went through, and so they tried to make a better life. And by not staying involved, if you talk, I'm around military people on a daily basis. I fish with them all the time. Like I said, you guys know I'm a cop. I've been around these folks, in and out of law enforcement. I'm in a club that's all law enforcement, that's primarily military, ex-military, some active duty, some reserves. These guys do not get involved in politics. I'm living right next to a Vietnam vet right now. But until the last 4 or 5 years, he had nothing to do with politics. The people that should be voting are these people. Well, they're basically told not to.
Well, Volcorn, are they told not to be patriotic? Are they told not to love America and try to defend it? I mean, how can you be in the military, which is responsible for defending America from foreign whatevers, and then not be patriotic enough to get involved in politics? I don't understand that, Mark. I
don't either. But the percentage of soldiers that vote, even statistically, is like less than 10%.
You got to be kidding.
No, sir. And when you go back to the last election cycle, we've talked about this in the past, when 37.4% of the voting age public actually took the time to go vote in one of the largest election cycles we've had in 50 years, that tells you where our problem is.
Well,
the complacency, that's my other point. The complacency of the American people is beyond my comprehension. I've told y'all the story about my assault teddy bear with the AR-15 when I was doing the NRA gun shows, 51 weeks a year for almost 4 years. In 4 years, I had a sign, big 4x4 foot sign. If you will show me your voter registration, active current voter registration card, look me in the eye and tell me you voted in the last election cycle, I'll give you anything on my table for 50% off, and I'll pay for your NRA membership. In 4 years, guys, not a single person took me up on that. And this was during Bill Clinton's era when they were coming after our guns.
Well,
but every single swinging, what of those group had an opinion and a gripe, in that they didn't go vote.
See, I have voted in every election for the last, as far back as I can remember, Mark. But I guess I'm just kind of different, kind of strange. Hell, I love this country, and I want to keep it like it is. I don't want to change this country into something that I don't want to live in. If I wanted to do that, I'd move to Venezuela, and I ain't moving. You know.
No, and one more comment on this, and we'll let you get to some other folks with more opinions. But two things: we need to do something. I don't know what it is to get more people involved in this process. I've been doing this publicly since 1991 when I made my first call to a radio show. I had my own radio show for 4 years. I did the NRA gun shows for 4 years. I've been as politically involved as I can be. I talk to people daily about this stuff, and nobody seems to give a rat's behind. It just boggles my mind that we all have a gripe and we all want stuff, yet we don't take the time to go what makes the country great in the first place. It's our freedoms and our right to elect people that will represent our values. We don't care about that anymore as long as our pocketbook's full, our beer's cold, and we've got something on the TV to watch.
Boy, you're speaking Conn's language.
Yeah, you're gonna get me stirred up here, Mark. If you ain't careful, Mark.
That's fine. You know what they used to say about that old bucket, the more you stir it, the more it stinks. Maybe we need to make it stink, guys.
Well,
hey, I appreciate it, Conn. We'll let y'all get on to somebody else. Thanks a lot, sir.
Mark, we thank you for the call, and you just keep up the fight. If you get outnumbered, call me and I'll come help. Thank you, Mark, for the call. Well, where was I? I'm about to get away from my notes here. I'm so well organized,
That's
folks.
all right. You got a whole other call coming in now.
Uh-oh. Well, I'm so well organized, I've got some notes here on the back of my breakfast receipt, and I'm not able to get to my notes, so I guess it doesn't matter what kind of notes I got anyway. But one thing I was talking about a while ago was the Cowboy Church sermon that I heard Sunday, and how I really did enjoy that, because you just don't hear pastors and preachers talking about current affairs. At least I don't. And here is a preacher of a Cowboy Church talking about, and he used some scriptures to back up what he was saying. God wants men to be men. God does not intend for men to be girly men. He does not intend for men to be born a man and then convert to a woman. That's at any rate, I did enjoy that sermon on the Cowboy Church. And I'm not a member of a Cowboy Church, but I am glad to see the Cowboy churches increasing as they are, because there's a lot of good old boys out there, old rednecks, that if they didn't go to the Cowboy Church, they wouldn't go to any church.
Well, at least somebody in the church community is standing up and talking the talk and walking the walk.
Well, that's exactly right. And apparently the Cowboy churches they're not so deathly afraid of losing their 501c3 tax exemption that they're afraid to tell the truth.
Hey, Rick's on the phone from Salado.
Yep, Rick, are you there, Rick?
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna slow down enough to let you get in there. So
maybe.
Real quick about voter apathy. I know some millennials and they don't vote, and I sure am glad they don't vote.
yeah, because they'd be on the wrong side.
Yeah, because one of them said, during the election when Trump was running against Hillary, before they picked the people that were going to be running for president, this millennial told me, if I do vote, it's going to be for Bernie Sanders, right? So I'm glad he didn't vote. And then later, this millennial was talking to this elderly woman who likes Trump, and he was like, "Why?" And she goes, "Help me out, Rick." And I said, "Oh, don't listen to him. He said he's going to vote for Bernie Sanders." So,
well,
that's.
Rick,
so I'm glad that some
people
don't vote.
Rick, if you've got just a moment here, please explain to me the rationale of someone voting for Bernie Sanders. You got 3 seconds to explain that to me.
Okay, I'll tell you. Rush Limbaugh said it best. It's hard to beat Santa Claus.
Yeah, I guess that is very true. I just, as I look at...
some of us grow up and live in the real world.
Yeah.
As I look at different candidates, whether it's Beto O'Rourke or Bernie Sanders or who it may be, how can you listen to what they're saying and then logically go down and vote for them? How do you do that? Do you understand what they are promoting, what they want?
How do you stay? I don't care if you were born a Democrat and your granddaddy was a Democrat and your great granddaddy was a Democrat. How do you stay a Democrat when they're wanting to kill children even after they're born? When they want to sexualize children in those gay pride parades? They had little kids wearing hardly nothing, dancing around and shaking their behinds and stuff. How can you stay a Democrat when that's what they stand for?
Well, that's my point, Rick. Exactly. How were you raised in America, in this Judeo-Christian society, and then get out there and vote for a Democrat that is promoting the LGBT community and the transgenders or whatever they are,
Genders.
Trans. How do you do that? I just don't understand how people's brain works.
And how do you? And then the welfare thing. If they don't abort the kids, they just make sure they don't have a dad and pay the mother a bunch of money. The more kids she has, the more money she makes.
Well, I did get a little bit of understanding there. Not understanding, but reasoning. I was talking to a good guy from down in Cameron, and we were talking about politics. And I said something about unemployment and things like that, and I brought up the fact that 75% of black children don't have a father in this country. Now that is accepted stats from, people accept that. It is true. That's the statistics. And the first thing this guy said, I don't believe that. I said, well, the reason they don't have a father in the home is because the mother gets $637 a month, and she can do that times 4. And his first response, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I said, well,
Does he believe that there's 900 black babies aborted a day?
Yeah, and so when you bring the truth up to a liberal or a socialist, he can't defend his position except by saying, I don't believe it. So
yep, you're right. Yeah, I'm going to let you go so somebody else can talk. I've really enjoyed the show today. The only reason I was sitting back and listening. And that last caller talking about the apathy of the American people was speaking truth. And I just wanted to bring a little levity in it and say, I'm glad some of these millennials don't vote.
Yeah. Mark's a good caller, and I hope he calls back. Maybe he'll call back today, and we can talk off the air and get his number and chat with him a little bit more.
Well, see,
all right. See y'all later.
You raised a very good point, Rick. The people that think their vote don't count, they're right. Stay at home. Don't vote. Suits me, because they would probably vote for some liberal cause that's going to help destroy the country in the first place. So don't vote. I can't argue with that.
Well, now that you have constituents, you're running for office. They've enjoyed the show today. We've had these great callers. So we'll give out the phone number again, which is 254-773-1400 if you want to air your opinion or concerns. And then if you'd like to be a sponsor of this show or just donate to keeping it on the air, we'd greatly appreciate it. The number for that is 254-300-1885. Also, we wanted to talk about Central Texas Auction Services. Their next auction is July the 20th. Again, that's July the 20th. And their phone number is 254-718-5120. And they have a website, which is centraltexasauctionservices.com. So you can get on there and see what's going up for auction, or you can give them a call. And I'll repeat that phone number. You can give them a call to see about consigning something that you need to sell. And because they take on all kinds of things. What kind of things did they take on, Conn?
Oh, they do all kind of auctions. He will do private auctions. If you want to sell your estate or your whatever, then he has an auction yard here on Loop 121 in Belton. But old Trey does a real good job of doing that auction. He has a son that is the youngest licensed auctioneer in the state of Texas. So he's raising that boy right. But anyway, they have good auction sales. He'll sell farm equipment, construction equipment, whatever it is, he'll sell it for you. And y'all go out there and visit with Trey. Okay, here we are back on the. I think Mark is back on the.
No, we're good. He just called back to give his number.
Oh, okay, never mind that. Okay, well, back to my elaborate notes. I made a note that does the news media, do they yield to and promote the LGBT and the homosexual agenda? Is that what they seem to be doing? And if so, why? What is in it? Why do we want to yield to them and help them promote that kind of lifestyle?
The stats that we heard last year was they were just 1% or 1.5% of the population of the United States. Yet they had this tremendous foothold in the media.
Well, and you hear so much about LGBT and transgenders and all that kind of stuff. Why? Are they promoting that lifestyle? And if they are, why is the news media promoting that lifestyle?
Why are they promoting liberal Democrat socialism, anything against Trump and anything that's good for the country? Why are they anti-America?
Well, and the other question I have is it truth or is it political correctness? I've made the statement before and I'll keep making it. When you sacrifice truth at the altar of political correctness, you done made a hell of a bad mistake. And that's what I see our society doing as we speak. They're not interested in truth. They're interested in whatever is politically correct. Be that the LGBT community or the whatever cause that is liberal and progressive and way out there in left field. Anyway, I'm getting lost in my notes here. I got so many of them.
I don't know. I thought you'd pretty well gone through a lot of them. Did you hear that California is opposed to allow felons to serve on juries throughout the state?
Oh,
Yeah.
I just heard that, but also I just heard that in California they just passed a bill to fine anyone who is a citizen that doesn't have insurance. They're going to put a fine on them, and they're going to take the fine money to.
Okay, now I'm all puffed up and ruffled and all those things that a hen gets, Because why are we being charged? Why are we being fined? And then all these people are getting it for free.
Well, that's why they're fining the people that don't have insurance, and they're taking the fine money and using it to provide health benefits to illegals that just walked across the border.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I certainly can't get all the health needs that I have taken care of. Okay, I'm going to shut up because I'm really angry.
Well, we're down to 10 minutes left in this show.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I can't imagine where the 2 hours went. I guess I'm just having too much fun. Oh, that's my problem.
I thought I saw the phone flash again. Yep, there it is. See, you got another caller again.
Well, let me just say, folks, I enjoy doing this, but I hope that besides the enjoyment of the show, I hope that we raise some questions for the general public to think about. If I say just one thing on this show that makes you think, then I've accomplished what I want to do. Because in my lifetime, I have had several people say one sentence, and that one sentence affected the rest of my life. And so if I can pass on some of this, these things like that I have heard and help someone, that's what I want to do. Right now, Lawrence is on the phone, and he's going to help me pass on some information. Lawrence, go ahead.
Yeah, Conn, I love your show, buddy. But my question is pretty simple. Why is it that K-Tim is not carrying Mark Levin anymore and has this stupid-ass financial show on?
I don't know. You'd have to call Town Square Media's main office and ask them.
Yeah.
So you don't have any idea.
No.
I don't have any idea.
No, we come in, do our show, and we leave.
Yeah.
I got my last question is very simple. all these people that are coming in here and crossing the border, and we apprehend these people, why is it that we can't just take them and turn them around and send them home?
Because there's laws in place.
Because of laws that the Democrats passed in a place called the United States Congress.
Is this the law that Trump would like to change in 15 minutes?
Yeah, the same thing. Like a lot of the laws that they have passed regarding immigrants are just plain stupid. I mean, if you read the law, they've got to hold them this many days, or they got to do this or that or something else. The laws governing immigrants in this country are just idiotic, and the Congress can change it, but you can't get the House of Representatives to even think about helping the immigration problem.
I know, Conn, but my God, where the hell is this going to end?
Well, that's my point.
This is ridiculous. Can we just get on the phone and call our representatives and tell them to change this law? I know I've tried to do that.
Well, that's my point. Well, where does this lead to? What's the end result of what they're doing?
Yeah, it's votes for the Democrats.
Yeah, the end result of what the Democrats want is to destroy this country. Why? They live here too.
Well, I think he's asking, he's asking is what else can we do, calling all of these people that are in office, but also I think voting in the primary and letting them know they're not going to get your vote in the primary.
Well, I do that. That's not a problem. But, I mean, this is absolutely absurd what's going on in this country right now. You look at the homeless people on the West Coast and New York now. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, moved here 60 years ago when my dad was in the military down here. But, I mean, this is getting crazy. If we don't do something or stand up to these damn people, this country, just like you said, Conn, is going to go to hell.
Well, it is, and it's going there real fast right now as we speak, but I don't see enough people wanting to stand up and defend America for the country that it was, and has been, and I hope will continue to be. But they're destroying it, and I don't see enough people standing up.
Well, it's just like you said, people go to the high school football game, but they won't go to the Tea Party. Or, whether you agree with it or not, at least it's an established platform in which we can eventually make some change in, perhaps.
So basically what you guys are telling me in real short figure here is that we don't have a prayer right now. These people are coming in here, and there's nothing we can do about it, and they're going to overrun this damn country, and there's nothing we can do.
Well,
and who the hell is supporting these people, feeding these people, clothing these people, housing these people?
Well, this is all socialist.
Who's supporting it is George Soros and Tom Steyer, who want to destroy America.
This is just a tool. All this aid.
They have that kind of money to do all this kind of stuff, and we have people in Congress that haven't got a hair on their ass to go ahead and change this to save this country. I mean, what the hell do these people care? Don't they even care about their kids and their grandkids?
No,
they want the money from the Tom Steyers and George Soros. They want the money worse than they want a future for their kids.
I tell you what, Conn, I'm 74 years old, for Christ's sake, and I mean, this is just absolutely absurd. When I grew up as a kid, I can't ever remember this kind of stuff going on. I followed politics all my damn life. And I've tried to do the right thing, work hard, make money, pay taxes. And now that I'm retired and I'm seeing everybody else getting sucked down the sewer.
Well, you're just old-fashioned. That's all I can say. You're not quite as old-fashioned as I am. But
hey, Lawrence, I wanted to let you know that Mark Levin is available on another radio station.
Oh, I listened to him on 820 WBAT.
Okay. Just wanted to let you know you weren't completely cut off, and then there's always YouTube.
But you're back to your question. What's the interest? Is it in political affairs and the state of the country, or is it in something else?
So you're saying, Conn, basically, in a short story here, is they just don't give a damn.
You're right. That they
don't care about our country, our people, our military. They don't care about the policemen. They don't care about nothing but them damn selves. And the thing about it is, and and all these people in this country, you're trying to tell me that we have that many damn people in this country that are going to vote for these people?
Yeah, we do. Look at how many Texas people voted for Beto O'Rourke.
Yeah, I know that. My God, Cruz won by a hair, and O'Rourke is a jerk. He's a moron.
Yeah, but some people voted for him.
Yeah, I know that, Conn. I know that. I saw some of the damn things. I go up to Dallas and visit my daughters and stuff. The O'Rourke signs up there, they were everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable what's going on in this country. But all they care about is them damn selves, and that is really a crying shame for the poor people of this country.
But
I love you guys so much for what you do every Saturday.
Well, we
you're
try.
Wonderful.
We try, Lawrence, and we appreciate your comment because, you're hollering sick 'em to a dog now.
Yeah, no joke, Ed.
All
but
right,
anyway,
Lawrence,
here's one.
Go ahead.
Can I just send $20-$30 a month to your thing there at 800?
Anything that you can do is really appreciated.
It's P.O. Box 34, Davilla, Davilla,
Okay.
Texas. What's
Okay.
the zip, Conn?
76523. But if you'll call the 300
76523.
Yeah, 76523. But
Okay.
if you'll call that 300-1885, my wife will tell you how to do all that.
Also, if you have a Facebook page or have access to Facebook, we have a GoFundMe
No, I don't,
account.
sweetheart.
I understand.
I don't do that.
I understand.
crap.
I don't either, Lawrence. I can answer the telephone. That's about as far as I can go.
Me too,
All right.
Pop.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Love you all.
Thank you.
All right,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
So if you would like to sponsor this show, we've got another week's worth of show going on. And go ahead and give us a call at 254-300-1885 to either donate toward the show or become an advertiser. Y'all have a great weekend.